Chris Dutton, founder and head of product at Maven Analytics, and we're an online learning platform and community for data professionals. We really try to pioneer this concept that we call guided learning, which is essentially giving learners a very clear path to build the exact skills they need, exactly when they need them. And, one of the biggest challenges of running an ed tech or an online learning business is keeping learners engaged and motivated. Everyone's got competing priorities, trying to get your job done, take care of family, and then plug in and try to work through online courses. It can be challenging. In building the product since day one, we really wanted to focus on making the learning experience as engaging and as fun as we possibly could. Gamification became a really central element to the product that we built, and using digital badges and credentials with Accredible was a really powerful tool that we could use to help keep our learners engaged kind of every step of the way. Early on, really that primary goal was to incentivize course completion, right? That was the main value added action that we're trying to get students to complete when they signed up for a new plan. We've evolved the product quite a bit since those early days to the point where now we're not just issuing credentials for course completions, we're issuing credentials for completing entire learning paths, right? Collections of courses, or even for hitting certain milestones or learning streaks, things like that, which have been an amazingly powerful tool for the platform and for our business metrics like retention, for instance, because the motivation of hitting that 7-day learning streak or that 14-day learning streak is absolutely huge. And we see it every single day where students will be reaching out saying, hey, can you please update my user record? I just lost my streak at 57 days and I'm going for the 90-day badge. Like, these badges are really meaningful for people, and we're using them as a powerful motivator and as a tool to help people build better learning habits. It's been amazing to see just how offering those badges and integrating that level of gamification has changed the way students interact with our platform. In fact, I think we've had 3 or 4 people earn the 365-day streak badge, which means like they're logging in every single day of the year and completing content, which if you're not sold on the power of gamification and how meaningful and motivating these badges can be, like, that's a really clear testament to that. We've built a lot of our software and learning experience in-house from the ground up, and it's really important for us to provide the most seamless and frictionless student experience that we possibly can. So we were looking for a platform that would give us easy access to an API for us to integrate with our systems in a seamless way, and give us tools that we could share with our students so that they can earn and share their credentials with the click of a button to their LinkedIn network and can add it to their profile. And we wanted access to reporting and analytics so that internally we could track how many credentials we're issuing, how many of our recipients are engaging with those credentials, where they're sharing them, how frequently, because word of mouth and referrals are 2 of our biggest growth drivers as a business, and being able to tie it back to individual credentials has been a great reporting tool for us as well. We wanted to give students just one place to go to track their progress, to see their badges, to share them, without having to manage multiple logins or authentication steps or anything like that. And I've been really happy with how seamless that integration has been and how easy it's been working with your team at Accredible. Learning paths have been a pretty core part of our platform since day one, and we've got paths that are designed for preparing people for certain roles, like a business intelligence analyst or a data scientist with Python. We have specialist paths that go really deep into particular tools or technologies. And in the past, we were essentially accommodating that through stacked credentials on Accredible. So it was as simple as just bundling badges together and calling it a path. So I was excited to see the evolution of the Pathway product because it made management and maintenance of our paths much easier and more intuitive. It allowed us to integrate other types of learning content into our path outside of just courses, which was a big evolution for us as a business this past year. Now we're kind of adopting this model of applied hands-on learning. So as you go through one of our learning paths, you're not just taking course after course after course. You're completing a course and then you're applying those skills to what we call a guided project, which is basically an unfamiliar data set where you're walking through a series of tasks and objectives. You can get hints, you can view solution videos, but really encourage students to use that as an opportunity to put their skills to the test and actually practice applying what they've been learning. So our pathways built in Accredible now have that blend or that combination of courses and projects, which kind of creates this really unique and powerful learning experience. The other benefit of pathways is that now we're kind of exposing students to those paths in a way that we hadn't been able to with stacked credentials. So if students earn one credential that's part of the path, it's very easy for them to see, okay, this is part of a larger series. I should probably dig in and complete the whole thing. So we've seen really promising retention numbers and LTV numbers inside of our platform, which I think additionally we can attribute, at least in part, to the fact that we have these longer learning paths. We have the ability to create completely personalized and custom learning plans based on your specific goals and objectives. And I do think that really keeps people stuck on the platform because, you know, it's not just one and done, it's an entire learning journey that we can help support. I think generally speaking, just the ease of use, like the setting up new groups and credentials, the email capabilities to build custom templates and know that, you know, the email that issues credentials is fully handled. The reminder emails are very easy to configure. And then, yeah, the pathway features have been great. The analytics have been super useful. Really been a very smooth learning curve and a really easy experience for myself and my team to manage our credentials through the platform. Because word of mouth is so important to us, we do very little paid media and paid marketing. We do very little outbound sales. For that reason, the more people we have earning credentials and the more people we have sharing them, and the higher we can crank up that share rate, the more that translates to direct bottom line success for the business. And it's also been a powerful tool to help us understand, are there opportunities for individual credentials or courses where we're seeing lower than expected share rates that might give us a clue to potentially dig in and see what we can do to help improve those metrics. So as a diagnostic tool and as kind of a measuring stick for us to track performance, it's been really helpful. When we started introducing new types of credentials and those streak and milestone credentials, have seen kind of consistent improvement in terms of retention and LTV. And I absolutely would. I've been very pleased with the experience from the start. The additional support with quarterly check-ins and kind of proactive feedback and ideas, that's been surprisingly beneficial. I think Accredible has been an outlier in that regard in a very good way. Having someone on the Accredible side who knows me and knows our business and our strategy and our vision has been great. And we've actually made quite a few improvements and enhancements based on ideas that have come out of those meetings too. So another reason why I would certainly recommend Accredible to anyone looking for a credential solution.